Welcome back to the channel. Austin here with Zach Humphreys. How are you, sir?
What's going on, man? What's up, everybody?
Just here to talk about some catalysts to look for the 2023 bull run that we are all expecting. So we're going to break that down in this video. As always, if you're interested in learning more about Clear, links in the description below. Check them out. A lot of big stuff coming from them in the very beginning of this new year in Q1. So Zach, what is your thoughts on some of the market catalysts that we've got coming out and really the timing to kick off this bull run?
Yeah, we were actually just talking off camera. I don't know if this one's on the list, Austin, but will the Feds continue to raise interest rates? Right.
That is number 3, I think. Number 2. No, 3. Well, I don't know. It's somewhere in here. Yeah. There it is. That's the number 1. There it is. Let's just get to that. There it is. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big one, right? I mean, that's the macro environment that's pretty much holding everything back right now, stocks included.
Well, and I think when you're talking about what the Fed is or is not going to do, we know they came out earlier this month and talked about the fact that they're not going to reduce the interest rate. There are no reductions coming. Like when they have their meetings where they raise or don't raise, they're not going to reduce it. But we're getting information from different sectors. You and I both know some bankers. We know some people in the construction industry, in commercial construction, housing construction, and we're hearing rumblings that maybe the Fed may be backing off raising the interest rate. And meaning they're not going to raise the interest rate for maybe the first quarter, second quarter. I think the February meeting is going to tell us what they're going to do or not going to do. But we're hearing rumblings, and if that happens, I think it could be definitely a catalyst for a bull run.
Yeah, and then the question really is, right? Is it just a delayed, kind of measure for the Feds then to raise again late this year, or do they think it can fix itself?
The old kick the can down the street thing, huh? Let's just kick it down and let somebody else deal with it.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
So but I think this one's the biggie. Probably, if I was going to talk about any of the other things that we've got to talk about, I think this is the big one. I think it's inflation and the Fed and their the 7 rate hikes they did in 22 and all that went into that really gutted and decimated crypto in 22. It took us from almost 3 trillion to 800 billion in market capitalization.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of inflation, we peaked thus far in June. It has come down. I mean, while it's been slowly coming down, it's coming down. So that's a positive.
I agree. This one really wasn't on my radar. Bitcoin is legal tender. We've got El Salvador, and to me, this one I don't feel like is a major bull run kicker. I mean, if Argentina or I'm just naming a country at random, came up and said they were going to use it as legal tender, I don't see that as a bull run starter. I mean, do you? What's your thoughts on that?
So I think it's more of a long-term catalyst than a short-term catalyst. Brazil has recently just announced they're not going to make it legal tender, but they're going to accept crypto payments. So they're working out that framework a little bit. Nigeria has been rumored to potentially make it legal tender or at least accept crypto payments. There's some slight modifications of what El Salvador did, I think, with what some of the other countries are going to do. Yep. But I think, you stack these up over time, and this is really something that by the time you get to 2030, right, you're really looking at, wow, Bitcoin is usable. It's not only a store of value, but it's being transacted with in all of these places, right? So short-term catalyst, probably not, but long-term catalyst for sure. It's just more utility, right?
Fair enough. I'm not going to argue with you about that because I agree with it from a long-term perspective, but I don't think it's a short-term 23, a bull run catalyst. So this one right here is interesting. It's talking about the fact that kind of in crypto, we need to have quote real projects. I would kind of say again, I'm like, well, we already do. We've got real projects being deployed on every major blockchain out there, Polkadot, Cardano, Ethereum. So I'm kind of like, okay, we already have that, So again, I don't see this as I think I don't agree with this one per se because this already exists, and the other thing I would tell you is that I don't think a lot of people even think about that. I think people that are out there that are buying Cardano or Ethereum as an example, would you agree, Zach, that some of them don't even know that they're blockchains and there's development and there's projects being created and deployed on those respective blockchains?
I I don't 100% disagree with this, but I would kind of change this up a little bit. I think it's more about educating people on the benefits of the projects that are out there and what they're actually doing that they're already solving problems, right? Like
Well,
what
yeah.
Cardano's doing, what Ethereum does, and what so many projects do, and what XRP does, and why this is so important. It's a better system. It's better tech. It's more scalable. All of
Yep.
these sort of things. So I think it's more of an educational thing, and that could be a catalyst, right? As more people, investors really become educated on the future of crypto and the future of blockchain. Everything needs to be redesigned and reimagined for this future. More people
Agreed.
get educated on that. That could be a catalyst.
But it's a long-term play. It's not like this is not like an event and everybody shows
Right.
up being like,
FOMO event.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
not,
agree.
so it's again, it's an aggregate. I think your example there is good. This one, abso-freaking-lutely. Regulations now, this
Clarity
could
here,
go
man.
either way, right? I think that regulations are going to happen. And here's what I would say, Zach. Regulations are not going to just be at a snap of the finger. One day we don't have them and the next day we do. That's
Yeah.
not how it's going to play out. It's government. And I'm talking about the states, and then it's going to be there's different versions that'll be deployed worldwide. This is going to be an ongoing thing. I think we'll see the first phase of some type of a crypto regulation in 23. And I think, ironically, I think that might be viewed as a bad thing by a certain percentage of retail crypto investors because they
Yeah.
don't understand that we need regulation. So what's your thoughts on this one?
I agree. I think really what this will do, once we get clarity on this, it will bring in the big time investors. The big time investors that are sitting on the sidelines, that are waiting for that clarity, waiting for that security. And the big players are coming though. I mean, Fidelity, they're filing all their trademark things right now.
Yep.
The Charles Schwabs of the world, that's coming. And when those doors open up, when people who invest with these massive companies like Fidelity and Charles Schwab can actually invest into crypto through those brokerage accounts, look out, because
Yeah.
so many people with so much wealth, they're going to make 1 to 3 to 5% of their portfolio crypto. Doesn't sound like a lot from an individual standpoint, but you start stacking that up and adding up some of the numbers, that's going to be huge.
Well, there are hundreds of trillions of dollars in these global financial brokerage companies, the Fidelity, Schwab's, and the thousands of others that are out there, in ranging in size. And I agree. I think, to your point, regulation is the key, or the lack of is the gate, if you will,
Right.
whatever metaphor you want to use to stop it. So I think that, and we'll stop there. So good stuff. So if you're interested in learning more about Clear Cryptos, number one, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, check out the other content. It's here to educate you, help you navigate crypto. Myself and Zach, we both have our own other channels here on YouTube. You're welcome to look us up, where we cover crypto every day, but we support the Clear initiative as well, because this is a company that is looking to revolutionize crypto in the positive. So we will, links in the description below. We'll see you. Have a good one.